Welcome to Life Happens, where Texans come to protect their legacy and prepare for the second half of life. Join your host, Attorney Kim Hegwood of Your Legacy Legal Care, and our weekly guest as we navigate the challenges that emerge as life happens. Now here's your host, Kim Hegwood.
Good morning and welcome to Life Happens with me, Kim Hegwood, and our very special guest today is Colton Hall. Good morning.
Morning, Kim. How are
And
you?
and so Colton, this is your company, right? Is this your company?
Well, no, I manage the pharmacy, but me and the owner are very much in alignment in what we're all about and what we're trying to do. So it's a
And
perfect fit.
perfect. And you work for, is it Caduceus? Did I say that right?
Yeah, Kaduceus Pharmacy, right? That's right.
Yeah. And so you have a different kind of pharmacy, and so this will be really fun and interesting because pharmacies today are not as user friendly as they used to be, and so
Well,
uh,
nothing in
that-
healthcare is, but yeah, that's why we're trying to be a lot different.
definitely. So let's kind of dive into that. And so, how is your pharmacy, different? And it's also my understanding that you consider yourself like a full service pharmacy. So when you get past the different part, let's talk about what full service means.
All right, so different first. Yeah, I mean, healthcare is it's really missing. I mean, everything about what healthcare should actually be about, which should be like personalized, care and service, right? Individualized care and delivery, and it's just not there, right? It's not there at all. It's just everybody's a number, everybody's put in a box, and everything is. I mean, the entire thing is built off, let's, admit it, a for-profit system built by pharmaceutical companies to suppress symptoms to gain profits. So they're not really interested in helping us get healthy. So we're different because you want to come from that perspective and help people that are looking for answers and that want to get healthy actually get off of pharmaceuticals and remove themselves from dependency and get healthy, right? If they just want a good pharmacy services, we deliver for free. It's like we come to you. We help advocate for you and help you become your own advocate so you don't become over medicated because that creates a lot of problems in the long term as well. So I think that's the big difference is that we're not just like trying to bring you the best pharmacy service that you can find where you can get a hold of us. You're not going to get some automated thing. You're not just going to be like, we're going to tell you we're going to do something, then we're not going to do it or do it wrong. I'm like, we're going to provide you a very good pharmacy service if that's what you want. But if you want help actually getting healthy and with all those things I mentioned, with all the things that a lot of people are looking for answers about but not finding them, that's what we're here for as well. And that's kind of my life's passion and why it's such a good fit with the owner and me because he's all about going like to extreme lengths to actually help and serve people, which is my life's passion as well because I grew up actually where my father opened and ran an independent pharmacy in a small town up north in Iowa. So it's deeply instilled in me. The owner and I, like I said, we're very aligned in that. And he's all about helping people like I'm talking about, combining kind of both, providing that great pharmacy service, coming to you, whatever you need, we'll cater to you, we'll deliver to you. Let us know what you need and how we can help, and we'll put something together to do that. And then what was the second part?
That full service pharmacy.
Oh, I guess I already mentioned that too. Yeah, that's just kind of doing all the things that might be needed, whether it's just, the basic pharmacy things or, coming to you or whatever it is. But finding you the connections if it's for compounding, even though we don't do compounding in the house, I've already set up relationships with, central fill for compounding and stuff like that, helping direct people to maybe more like bioidentical hormone replacement therapy physicians for, pretty much actually anybody. You don't even have to be old. These days, I mean, it's like your late 20s if you're a female, especially if you've had a child, early 30s, even your hormones start getting out of balance and like going, the bioidentical route versus synthetic route is just a million times better and it doesn't have all the long-term consequences. So it's just like helping people with whatever it might be, right? Because most women are just like, you have depression or whatever, and they're throwing antidepressants at you. You don't have depression, right? I mean, it's just crazy. And it's the same thing with a lot of different aspects of things, whether it's cholesterol, which has, been made to be so bad, or, these low salt diets for cardiovascular patients, which is crazy. I mean, you absolutely need healthy salt and you need good cholesterol. Every hormone and every cell in your body is made up of all of this. So we want people to understand that, and when we want to help advocate for them, and like I said, help them, gain that knowledge and that confidence to start advocating for themselves too, so they're not just like being overloaded by the medical system with medications, because most even elderly people find that once they actually very much reduce that medication load, they start to feel much better.
Yeah, I see a lot of people that are massively over medicated. And so, and a lot of times people aren't in the right field to be good advocates either. Because, I met a lady who was a retired nurse, and a lot of medications make her deathly ill. So she's telling the doctor, this medication is making me ill. And he's going, no, 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 no. And finally she's like, I just stopped taking it, and now I'm better. But a lot of seniors have a tendency, because they may see more than one doctor, to have multiple prescriptions, in place. And so, we always recommend, please see a pharmacist to make sure none of these interact with each other. So it's really good to have you on the show today, because because there's a lot of things that people probably shouldn't be taking anymore, so we want them to be able to do that. And so, but what do you find is the three biggest challenges, you see seniors facing, with their medications?
Yeah, I mean, you just touched on it. There's so many. I mean, they're all almost all of them are way over medicated. They see multiple doctors. I mean, this is a big problem in healthcare in general, right? Doctors don't communicate with each other, right? So the problem is, they just keep getting put on more and more medications every time they go in. Then they develop a symptom. Then they're on a medication for that. None of them actually know what they're taking anything for, right? They're all on, all kinds of cholesterol medications, which are, for a lot of them is just completely ridiculous. And the problem with the science behind the effectiveness and risk benefit from that, and then how it's contributing to all of the memory issues, like it's just completely ignored, and people aren't even aware of it. So it's like it's a big problem. So it's like they don't even know what they're taking and why they're taking it, right? They're all on at least a dozen medications or more. I mean, for the most part, which is crazy, right? Most of them could probably be fine on a few. It's really sad, and most of them don't know what they're taking, why they're taking it. You know, do they need it? Like you mentioned, that one lady. It's great when some people take it into their own hands. They're like, something's telling me this isn't making me feel good, so I'm just not going to take it. And almost every time they're going to feel better by not doing that, because they're actually trusting their gut. But we're just so, kind of entrained, indoctrinated into this, Western pharmaceuticals or medicine like type of thing. Like, doctors are, our savior. But you got to understand that me as a pharmacist and doctors themselves, all of our education is funded by pharmaceutical companies. Like, suppressing symptoms with pharmaceuticals. You have to understand that. And you need to use it for what it is good for, which is a tool for acute life saving emergency situations. Short term, anything like that used in the long term is going to have all kinds of problems, which is why anybody, even elderly people, when you get them off of all these medications, they'll start feeling better. So I mean, the biggest problem with the elderly population is just, I mean, one, I mean, how are they going to advocate for themselves when, I mean, how are they going to if they don't have any like anything? If they don't have any knowledge or awareness of anything I'm talking about, I mean, how are they going to advocate for themselves? Especially when all of the doctors, like me, have been right. How we've been educated, like I just mentioned. I mean, that's the paradigm, the pharmaceutical paradigm we've been indoctrinated into. Very small percentage of healthcare professionals like myself will actually go on that kind of journey of self education about what it actually means to be healthy and to heal. What are the conditions in place causing us to be unwell, and understanding that, right? And understanding, seeing the bigger picture, right? And finding, where we can use Western medicine and the pharmaceutical paradigm as a tool where it's useful, and then not be taken advantage of it. And it's the same, like it's a perfect time to kind of like compare that to technology, right? Because technology is taking over our minds and our lives and taking us away from our present moment. And if you don't use technology responsibly and as a tool as it is, which can be very useful, right, it will use you. And it's the same thing with Western medicine.
So since we kind of hit the subject of Western medicine, let's switch a little bit. Um, talk to us about holistic lifestyle coaching. And is this good for family caregivers who want to create a healthier aging life uh, than the person that they're caring for?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. It's good for anybody. I mean, you can be 20 years old or 80 or 90. I mean, it's just really simply making it's making everything very simple, right? It's understanding the very simple conditions that need to be in place to create a healthy body, mind, and spirit, right? The most of the problem with healing is there's just so much confusion, right? Because we've all been brought up in this modern time where there's just like our minds have just been flooded with endless marketing and advertising, and we see medicine as this thing that's not medicine. Like, so the hard part is removing the confusion, right? Healing is actually just letting go of all of that which no longer serves us, and it's just putting the conditions in place to allow the body to adapt and heal, which the body is very capable of doing, right? The problem is most of us live in the sympathetic stress response 24/7, largely thanks to modern society and all the things that turn it on, which is the ding on your cell phone or whatever it is. We can get into all of that too, but it's not really important. But most of us are 24/7 in that sympathetic fight or flight response, right? And we're told that we can't control our nervous system. Well, you can. You can get that turned off and you can get it into the parasympathetic, the rest and digest, or you better call it the healing state. And if you get the body in the healing state at night and rest deeply in that state, the body will regenerate and heal itself. And if you combine that with other simple conditions like, getting in your bare feet on the ground and getting sunlight in your eyes and on your skin without blocking any of it, right? With whether it's UV blocking glasses or contacts or chemical infused sunscreen that is actually the cause of skin cancer, not the sun, right? The best medicine really is the earth, the sun, the fuel you give yourself, and being in that resting state and physical activity, right? So it's like just understanding those simple conditions and then figuring out a way to customize programs to people's lives that, you know, they're able to actually do, right? Because some people maybe say, well, I'm so busy, like I can't take away this much, maybe an hour a day, but you can do it in an hour a day. So it's like, been a big thing for me is like I'm all about customizing things to people and how they can make it work for them and then build on it slowly, right? Where they don't get overwhelmed and then just want to go back to their old ways. Because I mean, modern society, let's face it, it's like it's really built on like convenience and and all this stuff. Like it's hard to make change, right? Like our survival mechanism wants to keep us in the familiar, no matter on how unhealthy it is. So yeah, it's great for anybody. I mean, anybody that wants to just start to understand how to actually become healthy or to heal themselves from the very simple things. And then I also like to go even deeper to like what would be called like a deep transformational coaching, where it's actually uncovering the paradigms that are in place, right? So I do all sorts of the full spectrum of that, right? Because the paradigms, the beliefs, and everything that you have, that's what's really fueling how you create and see your reality. And you can become aware of that and change that. And most of us don't usually realize what those are our entire lives. But anybody that wants to go that deep, I love to go that deep. I did for myself. But the holistic lifestyle coaching is great because it can be very simple, can be very straightforward, but it can have massive results in a very short period of time in the grand scheme of things. And then it can allow people to live very, very healthy and much happier, independent lives for the rest of their lives. So,
So it sounds like that not only are you busy being a pharmacist, but you seem to be doing some coaching on the side as well. Is that what I'm hearing?
yeah, so we offer that to anybody that's interested, right? We don't try to, push it on people because, I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of people that just don't want to do any of that, don't want change, and just want to get their medicine and go home, right? Or they just want to get the best price or have it delivered to them or whatever. Like, there's a lot of people that aren't interested, and I'm not going to push that on them, right? But if you want help, I'm here to help you, and I want to let people know that we're here for that and we offer that, right? And if you don't want that, we're perfectly okay with that. We'll provide you with an amazing pharmacy service and deliver to you and make your life easier. We'll help communicate between your doctors and advocate for you if needed, right? Which is a very difficult thing, communicating with even one doctor, let alone multiple, when there's usually always multiple. But yeah, I mean, it's a big part of my passion and my lifelong mission, and the owner is happy to have that as a part of something we offer. So we definitely do that for anybody that's interested, but obviously it's not something that we're trying to push on people that are not interested.
I think that uh, COVID really kind of was a turning point for a lot of people. I know for me, I quit watching the news, and I stopped doing that. Mindset's a whole lot better, and so because you get news, in different sources. You don't have to watch all the kind of I call it manipulation TV. And so how are
Good.
they going to get you to feel today? And
Yeah. Good
but
for
you
you.
talked about, yeah, well, I do a lot of mindset work, so it helps immensely. And so just because I think too, having a good frame of mind, also as far as, really trying to, overcome your subconscious sometimes, for things that, that happened as kids that still have a direct impact on what you do today without even realizing that it has a direct impact. So it was a very eye-opening experience for me that I enjoy immensely, so it's been really good. But you triggered something that's, for like me, is because I'm busy. And I think, that, yeah, it is. I would love to have my medications delivered at home. The dog is on more medication than I am. And so, bless his heart, he's trying hard to grow old gracefully, but the pharmacist, they text like every day, sometimes multiple times a day, come pick up your meds, come pick up your meds, come pick your meds. I have to make an extra trip to go pick up his meds. And so I
Yeah.
think convenience has really hit home a lot too, as far as, and I think you spoke earlier about it, that your pharmacy does deliver, medications at no charge.
Yeah.
And so, but do you deliver them other places other than just, home? Like, could I get them at work or someplace else?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. We'll deliver it to you wherever you want. No problem.
And
Yeah.
so,
We like to make things easy.
what about insurance? Because I didn't catch that, so I want to make sure. Because a lot of people are very, like I have an insurance company that only likes one pharmacy. So how do you help clients get around that? Is it something that you can do? For those of us that are on Blue Cross Blue Shield and
Yeah.
no
We
longer like
accept.
CVS anymore?
Yeah. No, we accept Blue Cross. We accept almost every insurance. There is one or two that it's kind of taken a little bit longer, but we should have anytime soon. So there are ways around that with like sister pharmacies, that we're kind of have a good relationship can use even if that situation arises. Otherwise, we just price match and just eat the cost if we have to, if it's not like something too bad, just to serve the patient. So either way, we find a way to address it if it's very rare anyways. We have most of the contracts anyways, so yeah, most of the time it's just a matter of time where you can get all those insurance contracts. It takes a lot to get all of them. So, but we
Yeah.
already have that one you mentioned, for example. But yeah, no, yeah, we deliver everywhere. And I mentioned, I think I saw the thing about the facilities. Yeah, that's a big focus of ours too. Is starting to get into the more of the independent assisted living facilities, and serving the majority of their populations as well to try to help them at a higher level as well. So yeah, we
Oh,
deliver
see,
everywhere.
now see, that's a good topic right there, because by the time somebody hits assisted living, they're probably on a lot of medications.
Yeah.
So having someone like you come in and kind of reevaluate, do they need all these meds and are they helping and things like that, sounds like a really, really good, idea, to help, our seniors. And so good job. And most definitely. So if you're a client or so if you're a listener today, or if you own or are involved in an assisted living facility or something like that, Colton, how do they find you?
Yeah, I mean, you can find us, Caduceus Pharmacy, and you can find us on Google Maps and call us, caduceuspharmacy.net. Send us a message through there, caduceuspharmacy@gmail.com. You know, yeah, there's the information right there. It looks like you've got it on the screen. We should be pretty easy to find. Reach out. We'll be happy to help you. Like I said, we cater to you, and we're really here to bring that personalized care and customer service back into healthcare that's so sorely missing. So, if there's anything we can do for you, just let us know.
Perfect. And it's been a pleasure having you on the show today because it's a lot of good information. And so we look forward to having you on again soon.
Okay, great, great. Thanks, Kim. I appreciate you having me.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Life Happens with Kim Hegwood. Be sure to tune in every Thursday at 10 a.m. wherever you listen to your podcasts as we navigate through the challenges that emerge as life happens. The content of this podcast does not establish an attorney-client relationship or constitute attorney-client privilege, legal, medical, financial, or any other professional advice.